Picture this, you're at a casino. The guy next to you just bet his entire life savings on red. The wheel spins. It lands on black. Does he walk away? Nope. He doubles down, bets twice as much. Loses again. Does he quit now? Hell no. He borrows money from the casino itself and bets even more. You'd think he's lost his mind, right? Now imagine that guy is Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Meta combined. And they're not betting millions, they're betting trillions. Welcome to 2025, where the world's smartest companies are playing the most dangerous game of poker in human history. And the cards, they might all be jokers. This is the story of the AI bubble, but not the one you've heard. This is about what happens when everyone knows it's a bubble, but nobody can afford to stop blowing. Let me take you back to a moment you probably missed. December 2022, Sam Altman's having a birthday party. Champagne, tech billionaires, the usual Silicon Valley scene. Everyone's buzzing about ChatGPT, which launched 2 weeks earlier. Someone asks, Sam, how much does it cost to run this thing? Sam laughs. Honestly, we have no idea. We just know it's a lot. Like, how much is a lot? Every time someone asks ChatGPT a question, it costs us several cents, sometimes more. Room goes quiet. Wait, you're giving this away for free? Yep. And millions of people are using it? Yep. So you're losing a fortune every single day. Someone should have asked the obvious follow-up question, then why the hell are you doing this? But nobody did, because in Silicon Valley there's an unspoken rule: he who moves first wins everything. And Sam Altman just moved first. That 3-letter word, AGI, artificial general intelligence, the holy grail, the moment when AI doesn't just answer questions, it thinks, learns, creates, decides, when AI becomes, well, like us. But better, here's the thing about AGI. Nobody knows if it's 5 years away or 50 years away, but every tech CEO is terrified of the same nightmare scenario. What if my competitor builds it first? Think about it. If Google builds AGI, they don't just dominate search. They dominate everything, every industry, every market, every decision. Suddenly, Sundar Pichai isn't just the CEO of Google. He's basically running the planet's operating system. So when ChatGPT dropped and showed even a glimpse of what might be possible, every tech giant hit the panic button. Microsoft's Satya Nadella was on the phone within 48 hours. Sam, how much do you need? 10 billion should work. Done. Where do I wire it? Google's executives were in full meltdown mode. We've been sitting on this technology for years. Why are we getting beaten by a startup? Legal said it was too risky to. I don't care what legal said. Ship something. Ship anything. Amazon saw what was happening and threw billions at Anthropic. Meta realized they were about to be left behind and went all in on open source AI. And just like that, the arms race began. Not because AI was profitable, not because anyone had a business model, but because nobody could afford to be the one who sat out. Let's talk about Jensen Huang for a second. CEO of NVIDIA, makes the chips that power AI. Before 2023, most people had never heard of him. Now, he's basically the drug dealer of Silicon Valley, and business is booming. Here's what most people don't understand about AI. It's obscenely expensive to run. Training GPT-4 cost over $100 million just to train it once. Running it for users, OpenAI spends an estimated $700,000 per day just on computing costs. That's $255 million per year on server bills, and that's just one model from one company. Now scale that across the entire industry. Google's training models, Meta's training models, Amazon's training models, Anthropic, Mistral, Cohere, dozens of startups. All training models analysts estimate the industry will spend $1 trillion on AI infrastructure by 2027. Here's the uncomfortable question: where's the revenue coming from? Current state of AI economics. OpenAI, losing $5 billion per year. Anthropic, not profitable. Most AI startups, burning through cash faster than they can raise it. ChatGPT Plus subscribers. OpenAI literally loses money on them. One venture capitalist told me off the record, we're funding companies that are paying OpenAI, who's paying Microsoft for compute, who's paying NVIDIA for chips. It's just money flowing in circles. Nobody's actually making money at the end of the loop. It's like watching someone build a beautiful, elaborate machine that does nothing except burn cash. Here's something nobody's talking about enough. AI is an environmental nightmare. Training a single large AI model produces as much carbon as 5 cars over their entire lifetimes. And we're not training one model, we're training thousands. AI data centers consume massive amounts of electricity. We're talking power equivalent to entire cities. Microsoft just signed a deal to restart the 3 Mile Island nuclear plant. Yes, that 3 Mile Island, just to power their AI operations. Google's water consumption for cooling data centers increased 20% in 1 year, in regions facing drought. And here's the kicker: most of this AI is being used for what exactly? Generating mediocre marketing copy, making images of astronauts riding horses, summarizing emails that didn't need summarizing, creating chatbots that hallucinate legal advice. Don't get me wrong. AI has legitimate world-changing applications in medicine, climate science, education. But right now, most of the compute is going toward making slightly more convincing spam. We're literally boiling the oceans to generate LinkedIn posts. So here's the mind-bending part. Everyone knows this is a bubble. Every VC I've talked to will admit it privately. Every tech exec knows the math doesn't work. Every analyst sees the cracks, but the bubble isn't popping. Why? Because this isn't like the dot-com bubble. Back then, it was thousands of startups with no revenue, funded by investors who'd eventually run out of patience. This time, it's 5 companies, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Meta, and Apple, who have effectively infinite money. They print billions in profit every quarter from their existing businesses. They're not borrowing to fund AI, they're using house money, and they're locked in a game of chicken where nobody can blink first. Think about it from Microsoft's perspective. If we stop investing in AI and Google doesn't, we lose everything. If we keep investing and it works, we win everything. If we keep investing and it fails, we're still Microsoft. We'll survive. Same logic applies to every player. The only way this bubble pops is if 1. All 5 companies simultaneously agree to stop, never happening. 2. Their core businesses collapse, unlikely. 3. Governments step in, maybe, eventually. 4. A massive AI disaster forces a reckoning, possible. Until one of those happens, the money keeps flowing. So what does this mean for you? If you're an investor, be very, very careful. AI stocks might keep going up, but we're in the greater fool phase. You're only making money if you sell to someone dumber than you. If you're a worker, AI will change your job, but probably not in the way the hype says. It's a tool, not a replacement. Learn to use it, but don't panic. If you're just watching this unfold, enjoy the show, because we're living through one of the most expensive experiments in human history. $7 trillion, that's more than the entire GDP of Japan, is being bet on a technology that might revolutionize everything, or might turn out to be the world's most expensive autocorrect. The craziest part, we won't know which one it is for years, but when we do find out, somebody's going to owe someone a really awkward phone call. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want more stories about brilliant people making questionable decisions with unfathomable amounts of money. Because trust me, this story's just getting started, and I've got a feeling the sequel's going to be a hell of a lot more interesting than the original.